Hey, it's time for Q&A. Hey. Hey loves, it's Brianna. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. And I know there's a lot of people when I've looked at the data who are usually new whenever I post a Q&A video. So if you haven't watched my cleaning and homemaking videos, hi, I always get called Brie by my friends. That's why I'm at Bits of Brie over on Instagram. And I posted over there the little Q&A box and there's a ton of questions. So I'm gonna try to answer them as fast as I can, even though I know I babble and I get kind of long-winded. But again, I'm Brie, I'm 33, I'm a mom of 3. Landon is my oldest, he's 6. Prezi, my little girl, is 4. And Hayden's our baby boy. He is about to be 11 months. Like, I cannot believe he's gonna be 1 in just like a month and a half. Insane. We're gonna do an Elmo birthday party for him. Somebody asked that in the questions, by the way. We're gonna do an Elmo birthday party for him because he is like the chillest, most relaxed personality. Like, he does not care what we're doing as long as he's included. Like, that's just his vibe. But if he's the tiniest bit upset or like he's been a little congested this week, if I sing him Elmo songs, especially like the Adam Sandler Elmo song, he just like instantly starts smiling. Do you know what I'm talking about? That's like, this is the song about Elmo, Elmo in a nutshell, Mo. I don't know, that's not quite how it goes, but if I sing that, he gets really happy. Anywho, we moved recently from Cleveland, Ohio, here to Hawaii, and it's been a big adjustment. You guys have a lot of questions about it, so I will touch on all of those things. But again, just thanks so much for being here. And if you are new, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and leave a comment and let us know a little about you. And I always say, if you ever have a prayer request or need any encouragement, you just let me know down in the comments below. But okay, let me get going here on some of these questions. Seriously, there are so many. This one, I appreciated this. As an extra person myself, how have you successfully downsized? I love that you're extra. Like, extra girls, we just add that little something special to the world. So I hope that you love that you're extra too. And so yes, if you're just tuning in, you feel free, you can go back and look at some of my other videos to see what our old house looked like to what our house looks like now. It's 4 bedrooms, but there's just like a lot less of the extra rooms. Like, we had an office in our old house and a dining room, and there was like a living room, like there was, you know, like a family room and separate living room that we kind of used more as like a school room. So we just had like a lot more, and there was a basement. We don't have basements here in Hawaii, or if they are, I've never really heard of a basement unless it's kind of like a split level sort of a house. Anyhow, we had a basement as well that was like fully furnished. So, or not fully finished, it was furnished, yes, but finished. So we just had a lot more square footage, which was just, quite honestly, it was so much time for me as like the homemaker, maintaining and taking care of all of it, that even at the time with the 2 kids, I felt like I wasn't spending the quality time with my kids that I wanted to spend to like keep up on everything. And then just knowing that we were having a 3rd baby, and I think there was just like a lot that we kind of reevaluated during lockdown of COVID, of like, what makes us happy, what do we really want out of our lives, and like what type of an environment do we want to raise our kids in, was sort of why we made this move. I think there might have been some questions around why we made this move too. So there was just a lot of decision making, a lot of adulting that was sort of going on, that brought us here. And I think for me, it was almost a bit of a KonMari sort of a style of like how I managed to do it. I literally made a list of like, these are the minimal things I need for survival. Why can't I talk right now? I swear I have not had any Apothic, guys. I'm actually drinking my pineapple Spindrift, one of my favorite drinks here. I think they have it everywhere though, but I don't know, just because of the pineapple. Why, you know. I've heard I've gotten made fun of because I love pineapples, so I don't really care. I made fun of because I like pineapples. Cheers. But I think the point I was getting at was, I did like a reverse KonMari of how I sort of did it. Like, these were the essential things that I needed to pack to just like survive, the basics for everyone. And then I was like, these are the things that really bring me joy, that I just want to make sure I have in this house, whether it was decorations or other like really sentimental things. So that's sort of how I went about doing it. Do you like having a smaller house? I feel like I sort of probably answered that in the last question, but yes, so far I feel like it has just really allowed me to have more time and just being here, getting to do more activities with my kids one-on-one, and just be like outside and exploring and just doing special things together, especially with Landon. Since he's 6, he's at the age now where he's, you know, asking, because of COVID right now, like nobody's doing it, but he like is wanting to have sleepovers. He's wanting to do things with his friends, and I just know that there's going to be only a little bit of time left that he's gonna probably like want to be with us on the weekends, right? Like as kids get older, they want their independence. They want to be doing things with their friends. So I just want like every ounce of time that I can possibly get with him and with Presley, and even Hayden. Like he has grown and changed so much. Like I can't even think, like back a year ago he was in my belly still, and now the fact that he's about to be 1, like he's cruising, he's not walking yet, but he's crawling, he's like saying words, like they grow so fast, and that time with them is just so precious and so valuable. And I know I'm going to miss these days as hard as they are. I know I'm going to miss them so freaking much, and like I just want all the time I can have with my kids. So for us, downsizing just felt right for like what I wanted out of my day-to-day. It is just so much easier for me to manage this. I do just want to quickly thank HelloFresh for sponsoring today's Q&A video. You guys know I love HelloFresh, and I am so jealous right now because I actually can't order it here. I've only been able to order it when we've gone back to Ohio, and they have fall options right now. Like I'm not kidding you. There's like pumpkin cinnamon rolls. You can order spiced lattes. There's like mini pumpkin cheesecakes. Like I am so jealous. So if you haven't tried HelloFresh, or if you're about to be placing your HelloFresh order, check out their fall options, because I'm so jealous right now. I'm missing fall so much, and it just would be so comforting and feel just so much like home. So please check out HelloFresh. If you haven't gotten HelloFresh before, there are so many reasons I love it. Like when I was talking about how like time is your most valuable resource as a mom, as a homemaker, it seriously, HelloFresh just saves you so much time. According to HelloFresh, it said the average trip to the grocery store takes 41 minutes. I don't know about you, but like I'm way above that average. Like it takes me way longer than 41 minutes to like, just like meal plan and figure out, okay, these are the meals I want to make. These are what the recipes require. Here I'm making my list. Then I actually go to the store, go grocery shopping. Like HelloFresh cuts out all of that for you, because they have over 50 menu items for you to choose from, and like some of these meals are literally like 20-minute meals. Like you can look for things that just like save you so much time, even when it comes to cooking. But what's amazing about them is it is delivered right to your door. It's in like recyclable packaging too, so I love the fact that HelloFresh is also like helping you be more sustainable, and you have like 25% less food waste when you use HelloFresh too, because all of the ingredients are like pre-portioned, ready to go. So then you're also like not buying extra things at the store, like a spice that maybe you'd only use once. Like I just love that about HelloFresh. Like it's seriously the best. It saves you so much time, saves you so much stress, and it is freaking delicious. Like there's more 5-star recipes on HelloFresh than any other meal delivery service. Like I love HelloFresh. I have gotten HelloFresh for years. I miss it so badly right now. So I seriously hope you check out HelloFresh, because you get an amazing deal. If you go to HelloFresh.com and use my code Brianna K 14, you will get 14 meals free plus free shipping. Like seriously, you cannot beat this deal, and try those new fall recipes. Again, go to HelloFresh.com, use my code Brianna K 14, and you'll get 14 free meals plus free shipping. And I also have all this down in my description box for you as well. A lot of you asked this question of, are you having a 4th baby? I would honestly love to have a 4th baby. Like I think babies are such a blessing, but I think it is a really big decision. And like I said, I think, you know, time is your most valuable resource. There is something really though, like what gets me every single time is when I hear people talk about their sisters. And I'm just like, I know there's no guarantee, but I would love for Presley to have a sister. Like I love, like me and my sister growing up, like that was so special. And I think like whenever I hear anybody else talk about their sisters, like there is just something special about getting to have a sister. So I would love for Presley to have a sister, and I promised my dad I would use his grandma's name. So I think there's always like, I think that side of me that's like pulling at my heartstrings to do it. But again, I have to pray on it. Is there going to be any more renovations to your house? Yes, we'll have some things coming up over the next couple months. I'm like really excited. How is Hawaii life? Do you guys get homesick? I think I probably hinted at this when I was even talking about fall. Like I'm definitely a little bit homesick. I love fall, but more than anything, like I miss my friends and I miss my family that are in Ohio. You know, as many things that we thought were positive about making this decision, it was not all positive. We knew there was going to be some really hard things to adjust, and it is. I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry in this video, but it's a lot. And I think, I don't know, maybe some of you who gone through this before, like had a big move or had like a really big transition, can just offer some advice or offer maybe what sort of helped you, I would appreciate that a lot. Because yeah, I know, like I always try to share the positive, because that's what I really like to see when I go online. Because I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes when I go online, I just want to like put my phone down, and I think I haven't been quite as active even on Instagram as I normally am. I mean, I still like try to show up and get on, but sometimes I'll open it up and I just see things that are so hateful and so divisive, and people that are so angry. And I don't know about you, like I'm very empathetic, and like anytime I see somebody really upset or really hurt or suffering, which I just feel like I see so much more. And it's funny because now there's just like so much that came out of algorithms and how they're purposefully trying to share content that's upsetting. Like that's what algorithms are choosing, is like upsetting content. And like I just don't want any part of that. Like I want to see positive stuff. Like I want to see the good. And it's bothersome to me that when I get on platforms where I know there's people sharing so many good, positive, uplifting things, like what always seems to be thrown in my face is like something angry or something controversial or something, I don't know, it's hard. I think it's like really, really hard to see that stuff. So I don't know if anybody else is struggling with that too, but it just like popped into my brain this week because it was like as I'm filming this, it was when the Facebook and Instagram had like shut down for a bit. Pros and cons of moving to Hawaii. Is it truly as expensive as everyone says? It is expensive, definitely, at least compared to where we moved from, right? Like probably I think like California is probably like similar as far as cost of living goes. But I can just like speak from Ohio to here, like groceries are a lot more. Housing is way different than the cost of living in Ohio. So depending where you're from, it might seem very, very different. You would probably just have to like look into it. But that's what I would say, like if moving to Hawaii is your dream, or moving to a place with higher cost of living is your dream, please like just know, like of course like there are going to be things that you have to work around, but I just never want somebody to say no to their dream because of the cost. One of the questions on here was like your biggest regret in your life, and honestly I think one of the biggest regrets I have is that I worked my tail off in high school to get into Northwestern, which was my dream college. Like I had a teacher who'd gone there. She told me about it. It had been like since I was a freshman in college. Like I wanted to go to Northwestern. She knew I wanted to be a journalist. Like she shared all about it with me. Like it's where I wanted to go. And I worked my tail off for those 4 years to be able to get into Northwestern. Got into Northwestern and I didn't go because of the cost. And that's like one of my biggest regrets, because if you're willing to put in the hard work, you should be able to make your dream come true. So that's what I would just say is like, if you have a dream and you're willing to do the work for it, don't let anything stop you. And if you're like, well, how do I do it? You have to surround yourself with other people who did. Like that's the biggest thing, is you can't listen to people who, like let's say college. If they didn't go to college, you shouldn't listen to them. You should find somebody who went to college, who was a first, like that's what I wish I could go back and tell my high school self, was like, find somebody who was a first generation college student who did it. Like ask them, how did you get through school? Like was it grants, was it scholarships, was it loans? And actually I should say, I do have a track coach that helped me a bit with all of this. So I love her to pieces. She was my track coach. I say my track coach. She was my track coach in high school. And she helped me navigate so much as far as being a first generation college student, and I am like forever grateful to her, and she's inspired me so much in so many ways and so many decisions I've made in my life. I love you, Lisa. I know sometimes she watches my stuff, so shout out, Lisa, you are the best. But that's what I would say to like any person. If you're like, I want to do this, you need to find somebody else who's done it. Don't listen to people who haven't done it before. Even if they might be encouraging to you, you still need to find the people who've done it themselves, who can like give you the roadmap. And maybe that's through a book, or maybe it's following somebody on social media who's doing the career that you want to do, or something you have an interest in, right? So that's what I would just give anybody out there. Like when it comes to your dreams, you should pursue them. When will you visit India? I would love to visit India. There was actually a lot of questions here of like, what are your dream vacations? Are you already like living where your dream vacation is? Like I love Hawaii, and anybody who wants to come visit Hawaii, I hope you get to, and I hope that you enjoy it. Like the aloha spirit here is just amazing, and just know too, like respect the culture here, and respect, like that's the biggest thing that I feel like I've seen local people be so disrespected, and it's just, I don't know, it's mind-blowing to me that somebody would come and visit such a beautiful place, and like whether it's trash it or hurt animals or, you know, just those kind of behaviors, it just boggles my mind. So please, if you come, be respectful and enjoy the beauty of it and enjoy the culture. That's just some of the kindest, most loving people I've ever met in my life here. So yes, if you end up coming here, it's amazing. But other places that we would love to travel to, I still have Tokyo Disney is at the top of my list. I think I've said, if you've watched any other videos, we had a trip planned in March 2020 that got canceled because of COVID. Australia, going down under, is on our list too, and now we're like a little closer to it. So I'm really excited about, hopefully when things start opening up, we can get down there. We need to get Hayden's passport though, so like that's on my to-do list of things to do. And I think I have a lot of audience members actually who are from Australia. So if you could recommend places to go or things to see, like must-dos, I would love to like add that stuff to my little bucket list notes that I have on my computer. That would be really, really cool. I think like those are the top two for now, but honestly, I have such like wanderlust, travel, I don't know, the travel fever, like what I call, like travel is my love language. Like I cannot wait to go so many places with our family. So if you have any places you're itching to go to, let me know down in the comments, because I always like seeing what like other people aspire to go and do and see around the world. I think travel is just such a beautiful experience. Like you never regret traveling. Like it's just one of those things that's like, I never regretted going on this trip. This question I thought was funny. Do your neighbors in Hawaii know you do YouTube? Yes, all of them actually knew before we moved in. Hawaii is very small. I think, you know, pretty much everybody knows everybody. The biggest island here is less than 1 million people. So when you just like think of that in context, maybe for like where you live, or like even Cleveland, I'm not quite sure the number of like Cleveland and surrounding areas, but like even in Cleveland that I know is way bigger, it's like everybody still like knew somebody, like somehow you were connected to somebody. So like on an island, I feel like it's way smaller, like everybody knows everybody. So yes, all of our neighbors knew that I did YouTube before we moved in, and we've all talked about it. What kind of dog is Coley? Coley is a Maltese Bichon mix, and somebody asked, how did Coley enjoy her birthday? Coley just turned 13, you guys. Like she was my first baby. I had her, I was 20 years old. I like wasn't even legal drinking age yet when I got Coley. No idea why I always like take on way too much responsibility, but I would never go back and change my decision. Coley has been the best dog. She's, I feel like she's grown up with me in some ways. We've like traveled and lived so many different places, and honestly, I've never seen her happier than when I take her to the beach here. Like she's a puppy all over again. So it's been really cool, and I'm like so glad she's finally freaking here. The process to bring her here, I like talked about this on Instagram. It is so much. Like if you really want all the details, I'm not going to get into this Q&A because it's a lot. You can look it up online, but there is just like a lot that you need to do because Hawaii is a rabies-free state, and so there's just a lot of extra stuff that you need if you're going to be bringing an animal here. And there's a lot of stuff you need to do so that they release your dog to you at the airport, because that's one of the big things is a lot of people like, you can bring your dog here, but then they keep them locked up, as our neighbors refer to it. It is a dog concentration camp, or like animal concentration camp, because they are outside in cages. Like they're not even covered. They're like outside in cages, and she's 13. I just could not do that to her. Especially just like how long the flight was too. Like I wasn't going to let her go under the cabin either. So before we flew back, we actually ended up having to change airlines because we were flying United, but United only lets her travel in the cabin in the 48 states. So we had to change Adam's flight to Alaskan Air because Alaskan Airlines allows the pets to be in the cabin to Hawaii, and I think like to Alaska then too. I'd assume, double check, but I know they let you do it to Hawaii. So Adam flew with her so that she could be in cabin, like in the little bag under his feet and all that, so that he could like calm her down. And he did say he like got up one time to go to the bathroom. When he came back, the woman like sitting by him was like, just so you know, your puppy was crying while you were in the bathroom, because she has like really bad separation anxiety. When I tried to crate train her when she was a puppy, she lost her mind. Like even if I made sure that she'd gone outside, fun fact, I like learned this from our vet here, say like to go she and doo is what you say in Hawaii for going to the bathroom. But I would like make sure she went she and doo. Everything was good. I would put her in the crate, leave the apartment, and 4 minutes, I did like a test. I was like, I'm just gonna stand outside the door and like see what she does, because some of our apartment neighbors were like, we hear your dog crying. And so I came in every single time, she was covered in like liquid diarrhea. Like she just lost her mind. Like she has some kind of probably separation anxiety and claustrophobia. So actually, I don't know really about the claustrophobia, because like, again, she's fine if she's in like the carrying bag. And that's what I would do in college. You guys, I remember this was like so embarrassing. I would carry her in this case into my classes, and people would call me like Paris Hilton, because at the time I think it was like Simple Life, and Paris Hilton would like carry her like Chihuahua around in like a purse or something like that. Coley would come to my classes with me at OU, and like none of the professors ever said a thing. Nobody ever said a thing, because I honestly don't even know if they really knew, because I would just like sit her on the ground next to the desk where I was sitting, and she was quiet, she was fine. So I think it's separation anxiety. I think Coley definitely has some level of separation anxiety. And I do know, like, whenever we leave, she's always in the window. Like, she's just always looking out the window for us. Like, she's the sweetest dog. I cannot believe she's 13. I cannot believe she's 13. Like, I don't want to face the fact. Plans for your next Disney trip. Oh my God, I want to get back to Disney so bad. I'm trying to talk my best friend into maybe meeting me in Disneyland. That's kind of like a midway point for us. But I think once everything sort of calms down safety wise, and like it feels safe for the kids, we're planning a trip. Like, we need to go. Hayden needs his first Mickey ears, guys. All my other kids have their like names on their Mickey ears, and Hayden needs his. My other two, their first times were actually at Disneyland. So Landon's first time was Disneyland when I think he was 8 months old, and Presley was 6 months old. And that's where both of their ears are Disneyland ears. So there's a side of me that like maybe we'll do Disneyland first, one, because it's a lot easier of a plane ride, but I want to see the 50th anniversary stuff so badly at Disney. Sorry, and I know some people are like not into Disney, but if like you love Disney, I feel like all the 50th stuff, despite that I know the fireworks like didn't rock my socks when I watched them on the YouTube video, maybe in person they're better. I'm trying, but everything else looks so cool. Like the Epcot ball right now looks epic. Like every time I watch my friend AJ, she runs Disney Food Blog here on YouTube, or DFB Guide, I think is like what her channel's name is. But every time I see the Epcot ball, I'm like, Epcot looks so cool. We have to go. So I'm dying. I cannot wait to go. This question's interesting. It's how are you teaching your kids about money? I would love tips to teach my little guy. So I feel like my kids have just a very basic concept of taxes, because every time I like open a snack or like a drink for them, I always am like, I'm taking my mommy tax. Take a sip or a bite on almost everything. So they like get a little understanding of taxes, but I don't know if I've like really shared this with you guys. My mom had me in child modeling, I think from the time I was like 2 years old. So I like did kind of similar like brand work, basically like what they're doing, right? They're essentially like modeling for products. So I always just ask them their permission of like, hey, do you want to be in this picture? Like, mommy got this offer for, like, I tell them what the company is and like what we have to do. Do you want to be in it? And they know they have bank accounts. So I'm like, okay, so you know your guys are going to get paid. So I feel like that's how they get an understanding of like, okay, I work to make money. So yeah, I don't know if that's going to be super helpful, but it's something for me to think about maybe as a way to like do more lessons with them just about like business and all that in general. Number one go-to meal. Oh, this is so hard. I think right now though, I'm just gonna say the chicken quesadilla soup. It's in my cookbook. That is like my favorite thing for fall. It is just so good. It's like so cozy. It's so delicious. Yeah, I think that's definitely like my favorite thing right now. And so it's easy to make too. You can make it in the crock pot or in your Instant Pot. It's like super easy to make. Did you buy a new car in Hawaii? Yes, we got a new car. We bought it here on island. Shipping was gonna take quite a bit of time, so it was just much easier to buy one here. Did Adam get a new job? If so, what's he doing now? He did not get one yet, and we're still praying that he finds something that will be the right fit for him. I know you talk a lot about mental health. When did you first realize that you had anxiety? Honestly, I went to the doctor because I had such bad chest pains, and I was really concerned that there was something physically going wrong, and he was like checking me for everything and anything and was like, I think this is just anxiety attacks. And he told me to cut out caffeine, which honestly, that helped diminish a lot. Like, it didn't take it all away, but it made a huge world of difference. I know there's been like a little bit where I was like splurging and having a few more glasses of wine, but I'm actually right now like 2 weeks, I'm not pregnant, but for the last 2 weeks, I just didn't have any wine because honestly, we had a dinner with our neighbors where we had a lot of margaritas. Like we had just like way too much fun with them. I love our neighbors. They're so sweet, by the way, guys. Do you see those leaves right there? They knew I was missing like fall and home a bit. So they found live leaves at one of the grocery stores here and they like put them on our porch in a little vase and we're like, we know that you're missing home. Like we have the best neighbors. Like honestly, I love all of our neighbors here. But they're so sweet. But my point was we had a little bit too much fun with them and I was like, okay, I would need like a detox. I'm not doing this anymore. So it's been like 2 weeks and I think that probably helps a little bit too. Like I do think caffeine and alcohol just sort of like make anxiety worse. And just getting enough sleep, like making sure I'm getting exercise definitely helps. I have no shame in like medication, just me personally, because of like pregnancy and breastfeeding, I haven't gone that route. Like I've just looked for like, is there other things I can do and cut out? But I'll be honest with you, when I'm done breastfeeding, like if I'm feeling anxiety really bad again, I'm gonna talk to my doctor about like, are there medication options that could be the right fit for me? So I definitely think like talk to your doctor. They know your body. I feel like that for everything. That would be my advice, is like talk to your doctor and you know your body, like bring up all of your concerns and make sure you feel like listened to and heard, and then kind of make a plan for yourself of like what's the best. But I'm really sorry. I know that any sort of mental health struggle, it's really hard, and I think that's one of the things like I've even said to Adam of like, if I tell you I'm having a day, you have to understand that it's the same as if like I had a cold, right? And I don't think we treat mental health the same way as if like you're sick with the cold or like sick with the flu. And that's kind of how it has to be treated. Like you might just need a day of like under a blanket, eating soup, reading a book, not doing anything, like resting and relaxing so that you feel okay again. But I promise you it's gonna get better. Just talk to your doctor and take the time and the rest that you need. Just note again, like if you need a prayer. Okay, my battery just died on me and it completely shut off and it's flashing right at me again. So I know it's about to do it again and I don't have another battery charged. Thank you so much for watching this Q&A. I love you guys